there, welcome back to Teachy TV. In today's lesson, we're going to learn how to use the program GarageBand to record voice or instrument or really whatever you want in one of the two studio booths that we have set up in room 29. So we're going to start basically a little bit before what you will probably be doing, just so that you can see how we got to that point where you're starting at. And then we'll go through the process step by step so that you will be able to record audio tracks on top of a project that you have exported from Ableton Live. So first things first. You are most likely going to be going to recent when so you get to this GarageBand window here. I'll close GarageBand so that I can open it again. So you're going to go to GarageBand, which is one of your applications. So you'll find GarageBand either in this bottom bar here. That's where it will be on the studio computers, actually, because it stays in the dock. I don't keep GarageBand in my dock because I don't use it very often, but I can find it right here in my applications folder. So GarageBand comes up, and chances are you're going to be going to recent because at least in some of these first few recording sessions, I will have already recorded or loaded your tracks so that they're ready to go, so that we don't waste any time because our classes are short and we don't have a lot of time to spare. I don't have anything in my recent folder because I didn't preload my own track. So I'm going to show you what I did in order to get your track there. And so next time when you have to load up your own track, you'll be able to do that because I'm showing you how to right now. So I'm going to go to New Project. I'm going to go to Empty Project. And here it is, Empty Project. You choose how you're going to record your stuff. I'm just going to use regular audio. This is going to be the using a microphone, right? So as opposed to a direct line input, we're going to use a microphone input there. I'm going to press Create. Now I need to find the track that I'm loading in. So for you, you'll be able to go to Downloads because you're going to download your track from your email. I don't have my track in my email because I made it on this computer, so I'm just going to have to search for it. And here it is. This is something that we've been using in the example videos. I'm kind of tired of hearing it by now. I'm sure you are too, but we are going to keep working with it. So here we go. I'm going to drag this in here. Just like that, and boom, I've got my track ready to go. I can get rid of the Finder window. I don't need that anymore. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to load a second audio track. This is what I'm going to use for my vocals. I'm going to put the compressed vocal filter on it because I think that sounds better. And what you can see now, when you see this green bar bouncing up and down, that means that this is the channel that you are monitoring. Monitoring is basically just telling you whether it's detecting sound. When you have a monitor coming out of your headphones, that means you're able to hear what's going in. So check for this, make sure that you have it, and also make sure that this is the track you have highlighted. If you have this track highlighted like it is now, it's detecting your voice in the monitor. It's also, if you press record, going to record over your backing track. You don't want that. So the other thing I'm going to suggest is that you get rid of this click up here. This is called the metronome. When that's on, I'll let you hear how it sounds. It's monitoring, or it's putting out this click that's kind of annoying. We don't need it, so we're gonna just click it off. Nice, so now we just have our track. So now I'm gonna go, if I press this back button, it jumps back to the very beginning. You've also got like a fast forward and rewind button, but this one goes all the way back to the beginning. What I'm gonna do now is press record, and hopefully I have something that I can think of off the top of my head to rap or sing over this so that you get an idea of how that works. Let's see. Gonna let it play a little bit in the beginning. You see how it's picking up the track that I have coming out of the speakers. So that's something to keep in mind, is that if you have the speakers going while you record, it is going to record what's coming out of the speakers, not just your voice. Let's see how that sounded, just me talking. I'm gonna let it play a little bit in the beginning. You see how it's picking up the track that I have coming out. Okay, so when you do just a short recording and then play it over, that's like that gives you an idea of how the levels are, how it's going to sound. So in a perfect world, I would have some headphones sitting here. I wouldn't play anything out of my speakers while I was recording, so that I would isolate just my voice in this recording and just the track in this recording. That perfect world is the world that we have in the studio. So you are all set. So what I just did is I pressed delete after I'd highlighted the track. That deletes it. And now I can go back to the beginning and try again. Okay. Here's a short track. That doesn't sound good. So what I'm going to do now is hit delete again and start over. So you see, this is a process. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to try this one more time. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Here's a short track. It's not very long. It doesn't take much to write a good song. All right, so let's see how that sounds. Here's a short track. It's not very long. It doesn't take much to write a good song. Okay, so that is as good as it's going to get for now. So let me show you what you would do if you wanted to add a different vocal part to the same song. You're going to just add another track. Notice that I pressed this plus sign up here. You're going to change this to whatever kind of vocals you want. If you're doing two different vocal parts, sometimes it's nice to change it up. So I'm going to change this to the telephone vocal, and I'm going to do a little bit of ad-libs. I'm going to move this back to the beginning, make sure this is highlighted, and then I'm going to press record. Yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay, okay. Here's a short track. Real short. It's not very long. Not long. It doesn't take much to write a good song. That's right. Okay, let's see how it sounds. I'm gonna go back and listen. Yeah, okay. Notice how it's a little bit different, but the fact that I picked up this backing track as well makes it kind of weird and funky, but for demonstration purposes, that's going to be fine. Last little tip I'm going to give you in this very basic, very rudimentary video. This is called panning. When you move one track a little bit over to the left and one track over a little bit to the right, it gives a little more dimension to the music. We like dimension because it makes us feel like we're inside of the music as opposed to just listening to it coming at us straight on. So when you notice, let's see, I can't think of any really good examples right now of some recent tracks that have come out with really good panning examples. But next time you're listening to something with headphones on, notice what you're hearing in the right ear and what you're hearing in the left ear. Let's see if this makes a difference. It won't to you, probably, because this is a recording of a recording. But I'm going to listen anyway. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, good. And in headphones, you would hear it even more clearly because it's sort of isolating the sound, either coming to one ear or to the other. So with that, we have the basics of our tracks. When you are finished, When you've finished recording, what you're going to do is go to GarageBand, or let's see. Never mind. Sorry. You're going to go to Share, and it's going to give you all these different ways of sharing your track. So what you're going to do is share song to export song to disk. That's going to give you just your basic file. You can save it as an MP3, an AIFF, a WAV file, an AAC. Probably you want to save it as an MP3. You want to make it high quality. Why not? Treat yourself. Give it a name. I'm going to call this Purple Penguin because that's the name that I've been using all along because I like alliteration. And I'm going to press export. It's gonna take all of these files and it's going to mix them onto one file, and then it's going to bounce it out. And when it does that, you are going to be able to find it in your Finder. Let's see, Purple Penguin. Gonna look for this Mac. And I saved it as an MP3, so I'm looking particularly for an MP3 called Purple Penguin. And I'm not finding it. There it is. I don't know why it was so hard to find. So once you've found that, you can go to your email, go to Compose, and then you know the rest of the story. You just go to your email, you go to Compose, you drop the file in an attachment, and you press send to yourself and to me and to your best friend, anybody else you want to hear the track that you created. You can send it as an attachment, and then they can have it forever and ever to cherish and to put up on the refrigerator if they've got an MP3 player on their refrigerator. At any rate, you are all set. If you have any questions, refer back to the video, talk to the people sitting around you, and of course you can ask me. I wish you luck, and I can't wait to hear what you do.